I've worked with Power Apps a few times and I've found it very intriguing on what it can do, but I know I've just scratched the surface. So I brought in one of our Power Apps experts here to help flesh it out, Mr. Jeremy Brown. Welcome to the studio.
Thanks, Mel. It's good to be here.
Okay, so for those of us who are new to Power Apps, tell us what it is.
So Power Apps is a low-code application that Microsoft offers that allows you to quickly build out a application to handle certain business processes or a view into some certain data that you need to show to the client. It allows for a very quick building of those applications so you can get something out to the client to show to them and then eventually land on that final product.
So what are some of the business use cases you've seen for Power Apps?
So a couple of the use cases would be you want to simplify a business process to like a few clicks. You can do this with mobile Power Apps. It could be something that's like on the go. It removes a lot of the processes and data storage outside of an application like F&O. You can also make these apps faster, so the time to get a solution out to the client can be a lot quicker.
So now I know that there are a couple of different types of Power Apps.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? I think Canvas apps, model-driven apps, and maybe some others. Tell us what those are all about.
Like you said, there's a couple different types. So mainly there's three types. So we have Canvas apps, model-driven apps, and Power Pages, which used to be called Power Portals. Canvas apps are really like your mobile experience that you would be building. So you're thinking a phone or a tablet. And these are great for people that are sort of on-the-go type of applications. If you have a sales rep that needs a quick access into like some customer data, they're right there in front of the customer. They could pull out their phone or their tablet and pull up that information right there. The good thing with Canvas apps is it can connect to a bunch of different data sources. It does work best with Dataverse, so that's the one that I would suggest to go with. Now, model-driven apps are sort of your web-based experience, and model-driven apps can only connect to Dataverse. You can have integrations that pull data in from other places if you want, but the core behind the scenes needs to be Dataverse for it. In my opinion, I think model-driven apps are sort of the simplest to get spun up. You create your table and your fields, click a button and boom, there's your form. You have a link to the website that you can go to and enter data into. A great example of a model-driven app is actually our timesheet entry portal. It's a model-driven app. Backend's Dataverse, and then there's some integrations that sort of work with our F&O instance as well. And then there's Power Pages, which are external facing websites. For most of what we would do, would be external to our clients. It could be a public website, or it could be you need some way to log in to the website. You give your client some credentials that they can log in with. And one great example that we have would be the SGS case management website, where everyone, like all of our clients that are on global support, they can log into that website. All of that gets logged into Dataverse, and then that connects with a model-driven app that our internal SGS people can use to respond back and manage all of those cases.
So with all of these different types in mind, what are the costs associated with Power Apps?
Most finance and operation licenses do include a Power Apps license as well. So most of your users should already have that Power Apps license. If there's someone who only needs, access to that one app that you created on Power Apps, they only need a Power Apps license, which could lead to cost savings down the road.
For those of us who would be new to Power Apps, what's that learning curve like whenever they're getting into it?
There's a lot to Power Apps, and it can seem a little daunting at first, but it is really simple to create a table in Dataverse and then create a model-driven app on top of it, and at least get like a proof of concept spun up, and then you can work from there on it.
So any final thoughts to take us out with?
You need to make sure you're not going in with a half-baked idea for this application. That initial design step is really the most important, and it's really going to set you and your project up for success later down the road. You really need to be asking yourself questions like, what experience do I want to go with? Is this mobile? Is this web-based? Is it internal or an external application? What backend are we using? Those are the questions that you need to ask yourself before just jumping into development with it.
The beauty of Power Apps is that someone who isn't a tech arc could make a functioning app, which is super freeing, right? But that means that we can all be superheroes, right?
That's right. But just remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Did you just make that up right now?
Oh, totally.
Wow, this guy.